What if the prayer you've recited your entire life was never the real one that Jesus spoke? What if the words, "Our Father," were only a shadow, a translation that lost the living vibration of the original sound? 2,000 years ago, in the dust and silence of Galilee, Jesus lifted his eyes and spoke a word that shook the unseen world. That word was not Father in the way you understand it. That word was Abwoon. It carried breath, warmth, and a frequency that modern language simply cannot hold. When Jesus spoke Abwun, he was not beginning a request. He was opening a doorway between the visible and the invisible, between the broken and the whole, between you and the source that has been calling your name since before you were born. And by the end of this video, something extraordinary awaits you. You will hear the original prayer exactly as Jesus spoke it in Aramaic, followed by its true translation, word for word, so you can finally pray it the way it was always meant to be prayed. Stay until the end. What you are about to receive may change the way you speak to the divine for the rest of your life. There is a moment in every soul's life when the old words stop working. You kneel, you whisper, you ask, and yet something inside you knows the language is incomplete. This is not because your faith is weak. It is because the words you were given were translated through centuries of empires, councils, and languages that never touched the original breath of Jesus. When Jesus prayed, he did not speak Greek or Latin or English. He spoke Aramaic, the language of his mother, his village, his every heartbeat. And the very first word of his most sacred prayer was not Father, as we say it today. It was a BWOON. This single word carries a meaning so vast that no single English term can contain it. It speaks of a parent who is both mother and father, both near and infinite, both intimate and cosmic. It is the sound of breath itself, the vibration that the ancient mystics believed connected the human chest to the breath of the universe. To speak Abwun was not to address a distant ruler in the sky. It was to acknowledge the source from which all life, all light, and all love continuously flow into you, right now, in this very moment. Imagine standing in the dry hills outside Capernaum, the wind moving through olive branches, and hearing Jesus breathe this word slowly. Abwoon, the sound itself, begins deep in the chest, rises through the throat, and opens through the lips like an exhale of trust. Ancient Aramaic scholars describe Abwoon as a vibration before it is a word, a frequency that resonates with the part of you that existed before fear, before shame, before every story the world told you about who you are. When Jesus used this word, he was not handing his followers a formula. He was inviting them into an experience of being held by something so vast and so intimate that it knows your name better than you do. This is why so many seekers feel something shift in their chest the moment they hear Abwun spoken aloud for the first time. It bypasses the analytical mind and speaks directly to the nervous system, to the part of you that remembers. Even if your conscious mind has forgotten what it feels like to be safe inside the arms of the infinite. Understanding these frequencies is the first step, but mastering their vibration in your daily life is where the true miracle happens. I receive many messages asking for the correct pronunciation and sequence of these sounds, so I have prepared 2 sacred guides to help you bridge this gap. You can find the link pinned in the comments to begin your practical journey today. And the best is yet to come. In the next chapters, you'll discover what could change everything for you. For centuries, the word Father carried connotations of distance, judgment, and hierarchy. an image shaped more by Roman rulers and medieval kings than by the heart of Jesus. But Abwun carries none of that weight. In the original Aramaic, the root of Abwoon blends the concepts of parent, creator, and the source from which breath flows. It is gender fluid by nature, holding both masculine strength and maternal tenderness in a single sound. This is profound, because it means that when Jesus prayed, he was not reinforcing a distant patriarchal authority. He was revealing a source that nurtures the way a mother nurtures, that provides the way a father provides, and that breathes life into you, the way breath fills the lungs of a newborn. Many who begin to meditate on Abwun report a softening in their chest, as though years of guardedness toward the divine begin to dissolve. They no longer feel like they are praying to someone far away. They feel as though they are remembering a relationship that never actually ended, one they simply forgot how to feel. There is a reason Jesus chose to begin his most important prayer with Abwoon, rather than a title, a name, or a request. Beginnings carry power. The first word sets the frequency for everything that follows. By opening with Abwun, Jesus was establishing connection before petition, intimacy before instruction, relationship before request. This order matters deeply for anyone struggling with anxiety about whether they are praying correctly or whether they are worthy of being heard. Abwun removes that fear entirely, because it does not position you as a stranger approaching a throne. It positions you as a child returning to the chest of a parent who never stopped holding space for you. When anxious thoughts spiral, when the mind races through worst-case scenarios, the practice of slowly breathing the sound Abwoon Eben silently can interrupt that spiral. It reminds the nervous system, on a level deeper than logic, that you are not alone, navigating chaos by yourself. You are breath of the same breath, held by the same source that has sustained every living thing since the beginning. If this teaching is stirring a deep resonance in your heart, it is a sign that your soul is ready to return to its original blueprint. To support you in this transition, my guides explain the layers of meaning behind the first sacred words, offering you a path to clear the interference of the world. The link to access these tools is waiting for you in the pinned comment. We are just scratching the surface of this ancient power. Get ready, because in our next video, I will reveal even deeper Aramaic codes that unlock spiritual authority you've never imagined. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss this unfolding revelation. To pray Abwun today is to step into the same current that Jesus stepped into 2,000 years ago, a current that does not depend on the language you use, the church you attend, or the title placed on your faith. It depends only on your willingness to breathe, to soften, and to listen. Some describe the practice like this: close your eyes, take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, allow the sound of Abwun to rise gently from your chest, almost like a sigh of relief after carrying something heavy for far too long. There is no need to perform this perfectly. The ancient mystics understood that intention carried more weight than precision. What matters is the willingness to turn toward the source, to acknowledge that you are not separate from it, and that whatever you are facing, money worries, broken relationships, illness, confusion about your purpose, none of it diminishes the truth that you remain connected to the breath that sustains the stars. Abwun is not a word you say once. It is a frequency you can return to, again and again, every time the noise of the world grows too loud. Transformation Protocol. Tonight, before you sleep, try this. Sit quietly. Place one hand gently on your chest and take 3 slow breaths. On the third exhale, whisper Abwun, not as a word, but as a release. Feel it move from your chest outward, like a ripple touching the edges of the room, then the edges of the city, then the edges of the world. This is not magic. This is remembering. Jesus did not give humanity a complicated ritual. He gave a doorway, disguised as a single syllable, hidden in plain sight, inside a prayer recited for 2,000 years, without most people ever knowing its true sound. Practice this for 7 nights. Notice what softens. Notice what becomes lighter. Notice the moments throughout your day when, without thinking, you find yourself breathing just a little slower, a little deeper, as though something ancient inside you has been quietly switched back on. Visit Divine Light Academy at the link below to access my complete guides and start your journey into the living language of the Masters. But before you go, I want to hear from you. What did you feel during this session? Comment the word restoration below if you felt a shift in your energy today. We read every response, and your testimony strengthens this entire community of light. The Lord's Prayer, original Aramaic version. The Lord's Prayer. English translation, O breathing life, your name shines everywhere. Release a space to plant your presence here. Envision your icon now. Embody your desire in every light and form. Grow through us this moment's bread and wisdom. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us. As we release the strands we hold of others' faults, help us not forget our source. Yet free us from not being in the present. From you arises every vision, power, and song. From gathering to gathering, sealed in trust and faith. Amen. Right now, before you close this video, come to the comments and tell us, what did you feel? What shifted? We read every single response. And if this teaching found you today, subscribe to this channel. Every week we go deeper into the ancient frequency codes that were always meant to be yours.